Hi guys, welcome back to Think Big with Lasindu, and today I have another guest, a friend of mine who I have known for almost a decade now. Naveen Jayamanne. He is a criminal lawyer. He has pretty much chosen a very interesting field. Naveen, tell everyone who you are.
Hi, Lasindu. So I'm Naveen Jayamanne, and I am currently working as an attorney at law in Sri Lanka, and I am progressing in the criminal field. So that's about it. Anything else you want to add?
What made you pick the criminal law, by the way? Because I know that for a fact that most people go into either civil or corporate. What made you choose criminal?
So actually, at first I was also going to do civil law because my father is also a lawyer and he practices
Yeah.
both the fields. But I don't know, maybe I started with civil law actually when I was doing my apprenticeship. And then I got chosen to work in the Attorney General's department as an apprentice. And in that, I was put to a criminal senior lawyer. So
Yeah,
I think that made the change.
that's where that's where people get into the criminal stuff. So, how was life at AG's like AG office? Because
It was really interesting. I was handling pretty much very interesting cases, not any boring cases, I should add, because back in those days we had COVID, the lockdowns and the petrol
yeah,
issues and everything. And during that period, I sort of got engaged with a lot of interesting cases.
yeah.
One
Any specific one
which is
stand out?
yeah, yeah. So there was this one bribery case. I can't mention the names and all. So
Yeah,
it is the key case which is going against the private bar at the moment. So uh, now it's very against
interesting.
us. So yeah. So it is
So
disadvantageous to us because when I was working there, I sort of helped my senior. He's a brilliant senior who I worked at the AGs under whom I worked, and even the senior after that was brilliant. He's well known as well. So I was doing that case with him, and then I prepared the research and everything, and he got the case into his advantage. So he got
mm,
the order to his advantage, and
mm.
now it is used against the accused people, so who we are representing, of course,
So now
most of
you
the
are
time.
representing. Yeah. So like, how did you? What are your feelings about that shift? Because previously you were at AG's office, so you were pretty much talking on behalf of the state, and now you have shifted like pretty much it's like a whole 180 shift.
Oh, shit,
Uh,
yeah,
yeah, like completely shifted, then gone into private, and now you're pretty much defending the criminals who you
yeah.
used to work against. So how did that shift happen? Like,
Not criminals until they are proven guilty.
yeah, fair enough, fair enough. Yes, like
Yeah,
we'll get into that because yeah, I have a lot of
yeah.
questions about that. So how did that
So,
shift happen?
so basically, after I was done with my apprenticeship, uh, I was handing over my letters, and
Mm,
then I saw this Presence Council who I admire a lot, who's one of my idols. Mr. Kalingindit is a Presence Council. So
mm,
he was in the canteen. I think he was speaking with another friend of him. So
mm,
I approached him there itself, and then I went and said that I would like to pursue my career under him.
mm-hmm.
And first he said he doesn't accept juniors when they're done with the apprenticeship, but he said he liked the way I approached him, and he asked me to come for an interview. So I went
Okay.
there, and then on the very first day he gave me some cases to study, and I felt it's pretty interesting. So
Oh,
I thought, without pursuing the career in the Attorney General's department, I think I should go for the private bar.
that's. I mean, I feel like that's the way to approach anything in life. I mean, pretty much even if you're approaching a girl, I feel like it's better to be direct and approach
You
the
should,
girl
yeah,
directly. Yeah,
you should be
yeah,
very direct.
yeah,
I
100%.
think you
Even though
have more experience
I,
in it
I
than
don't,
me.
I doubt that. But anyhow, so what was the first uh case that you did after you started working with the President Council, calling into the systems?
Uh, it's calling into this President's Council.
Yeah.
So the very first case was in Gaul. It was regarding a bribery matter.
Hmm.
Uh, we were appearing on behalf of the accused there.
Is it bribery is the like most common case that you all get quite often, or is it any other criminal activity cases, drugs? What are the like most common cases that you all are getting all the time?
It de it depends according to the lawyer actually.
Okay.
So some lawyers they only do bail matters, and
Mhm.
some get into bail frauds and everything. Some lawyers have ethical issue with doing rape cases and drugs cases. So that's there. Some
Yeah.
lawyers are like me, like we take any cases because I will get into that later because there's a rule called cab rank rule. You might have heard it or you might have not heard about it.
No. No. What does that mean?
So cab rank rule is where the lawyers, or it was started in England, the
Yeah.
barristers
Hmm.
cannot discriminate among the clients. Whatever the case they may get, if they are available and if they are compensated, then they should represent them. That's there to make the justice available for all.
Right. Right.
So
I guess
according to the
that.
according to the
Yep.
cab rank rule, we have to accept clients from various backgrounds,
Mm.
uh, regardless whether they are criminals or whatever.
Yeah. I mean that's the way to look at it as well, irrespectively of uh whatever their background or whatever their skin color, or like what kind of a background they're from. I mean, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, what matters is the case and what are they have been charged of. And I find it interesting because most of the time, I see people do like a lot of wrongdoings, but at the end of the day, they have been charged for something completely different. So it's like and lawyers pretty much they are, I mean, criminal lawyers are pretty talented, so they find like loopholes and like no, okay, like yeah, he doesn't, yeah, maybe he has done murders, but you have charged him for a bribery and he hasn't done the bribe, so yeah, walk away, he guy walks
It
away. But
works like that.
yeah, so and yeah, I mean, I guess it is a system, so it doesn't matter. It's like because you are being charged for whatever evidence that your police or like state has. So based on those witnesses or based on those evidence, you'll be charged. But those evidence might not be completely accurate as well.
Yeah, that happens a lot of all the time.
Yeah,
That happens all the time because that's where the lawyers find loops.
yeah. I guess that's where y'all come in, and like y'all show the exact like colors, like okay, this is how it's gonna go, like because I find it really
Yeah,
interesting.
actually,
So yeah.
so when we get a case, first we research on it,
Yeah.
and then we see how the opposing parties' applications are like, and then we
Hmm.
build up our case from a scratch.
So basically, you are looking. So how does the whole case was? Let's say like okay, I have a case and I have been charged. Like, how do I approach you all, and what's the whole process?
So first of all, when we get the clients, we first get the scenario or the facts from him.
Mm.
And then if it is a pretty new case, then there will be no records in the court, right? But in a criminal case, it starts with a B report. That is the first information report. So
Mm.
we get that and we see how the police or the prosecution is going to proceed. And then we get our case built up from there. And then we are going to
Mm.
sort of, look into the evidence and whatever they have against our client, and then proceed with it. Uh, we can build up the case from that itself.
So when y'all are handling the case, do y'all so y'all only look into the charges that the person has been charged with, or do you are looking to the entire background, what has been going on, like, the whole thing?
Yeah. So we ask the clients what has happened, but sometimes the clients won't tell us, but we can't force them, right? So we are acting on the instructions that we get, and we can't go beyond that. That's their problem, right? So they should tell us everything if they want to get success
Yeah.
with the case.
Yeah.
But
So
so there are some clients, there are some very bad clients. I mean, not very bad clients, I would say. Some clients don't want to reveal the true true scenario of the matter. But if they tell us the whole story, then it will be a help in the case, and it will be an advantage for him in the case.
yeah, yeah, I guess that makes sense. But so let's say that I have been charged for bribery, and the whole story is like, let's say, like, I have done other criminal activities as well, and
Hmm.
so I'm pretty much revealing the whole thing to my lawyer. But then again, yes, there's uh client privileges being the client, but at the same time, so like, this guy, like, he has done all these, like, wrongdoings and everything, and you're pretty much defending him for the charge. But he's saying that, okay, he didn't do the bribery, so whatever the thing that he has been charged, he's innocent in that charge, but he has done all other wrongdoing. So my question is something like, how exactly that you're gonna sort of so when the client is pretty much dirty or guilty for certain other charges, how do you kind of s- like, squash your, or like, square that with your inner consciousness? Like, how do you deal with that?
So pretty much we deal with criminals or labeled as criminals every day. So
Yeah.
that's pretty normal to us. So when a client comes and says that I have done this and this, but I haven't done this, and this is
Yeah.
what I have been charged with, we deal with that case. The rest are for later. So
Yeah, fair
we
enough.
keep them for later, and then we take up the matter, and then we go on with the matter that is in hand right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, because at the end of the day, even for the AG to charge a criminal, there has to be certain evidence and everything. And based on the evidence only, they can make the charges, right? So what sort of so in terms of charging, or like, charging someone or arresting someone, what is the procedure from the government side? How do they gather certain evidences and stuff like that?
So basically, sometimes it goes like a person makes a complaint to the police,
Mm-hmm.
an aggrieved party, and then the police informs that to the superior, and then he gets the authority or the permission from the magistrate to arrest a person, or he can go and arrest a person without a warrant. So there are two types: arrest with a warrant and arrest without a warrant. They can do according to the crimes. It's uh, it's a big scope. So there are crimes which you need a warrant to arrest, and there are
Yeah.
some crimes which you don't need a warrant to arrest. So either of the two, they after they arrest, then they can keep him in remand, and then produce him on the next court day,
Got it.
and then from there, yeah, and from there, the magistrate has to use his or her his, what do you call it, his conscious, and then
Yeah.
remand the guy or the person who was arrested, the suspect, or he or she can release him
Release him.
according to the evidence gathered. And sometimes, most of the time, uh, the police is doing something very wrong, I would say. They say the investigations are not complete, and
Mm.
then on that point, they are holding the suspect or the person who was arrested in remand, and they make the application to court saying we need to do more investigation on this person, so to keep him in remand.
So
But
for how long can they keep the person? I mean, they can't just infinitely keep a person in
yeah,
remand for just because they are doing the
yeah,
investigations, right?
Very good question. So, uh, one remand extension, it can last for 14 days. And if they want to keep the suspect or the person who's arrested in remand for more than that, then after the end of the 14 days, then they should go and make the application again in the magistrate's court, which is the primary court in Sri Lanka, to keep them in remand. And even then, they can do it up to 1 year. Okay, after 1 year,
Oh,
uh,
damn.
yeah, in like, for 14 days and then
Yeah.
again 14 days, like that. It goes on like
But
that. But
it goes okay.
yeah, so every 14 days,
Yeah.
the suspect is brought to court and then they make an application why he should not be released. The attorneys talking on behalf of the accused or the suspect, they make an application as to why he should get bail.
Okay. So, but there should be considerable amount of evidence for them to keep him in remand, right? Like, without evidence and stuff. Or is it
If
possible to
there
keep
is
him in remand without
if there is
evidence?
evidence, if there is evidence, they can go for an indictment and then file a case in High Court with the AG's department. But up until the investigations are complete, that they are gathering evidence, that period
Yeah.
is the period that I was talking about. So 14 days,
Okay.
uh, after 14 days, they can make the application again under Section 14 of the Bail Act in Sri Lanka, which is to refuse bail. So they should give reasons according to Section 14 of the Bail Act and say why the person should be kept in remand
So
and
basically,
not grant bail.
what are those reasons? Like, is it because okay, this person is kind of a, like, threat to the society, or is it like stuff like that?
Exactly. It's stuff like that, and the fact that he might interfere with the investigation, and there are some other reasons like that. So the point that you said is very correct, that he's a threat to the society, or if he can interfere with the investigation, the ongoing
Investigation.
investigation, that's also a reason.
Right. So let's say hypothetically someone has made a complaint, and so there's a scenario where they have to get the arrest warrant. And what are the scenarios that they don't have to get the arrest warrant, and what sort of complaint? Because can anybody just go and make a complaint and get someone arrested? Like, what kind of scenarios are those?
So anybody can make a complaint if they have an issue, okay?
Yeah.
And then after they go to the police, they get the complaint written down, and then
Mm.
according to that, they act on it. And there is a list of arrests with a warrant and arrests without a
Yeah.
warrant. So I'm not gonna
Yeah.
go into that.
Fan. Yeah.
When a complaint is filed, then most of the time the police go without a warrant, right? So you may see in movies that people ask, "Where's the warrant? Where's the warrant?" And
Yeah.
but in reality, it doesn't happen.
So let's say hypothetically, okay, somebody made a complaint,
Complaint.
and maybe it's not true. So like, so basically, so the police is are they gonna just act based on the complaint, or are they just gonna do their own due diligence before making the arrest?
It depends according to the occasion. So some complaints they can research and they can gather evidence and they can go and ask the people around the area. But there are some complaints which the police have to act on point. So they are also doing a duty.
Such as
So sometimes,
like rape
let's
cases,
say,
uh,
yeah. So those are
theft.
already done
Yeah.
crimes, right? Rape
Yeah.
cases, murders, then they
Yeah.
can't stay
Murders.
and research and
Yeah.
everything. But what I'm saying is like when it comes to drug offenses,
Yeah.
drug-related offenses and everything. So let's say there's a drug dealer and
Mm.
he's becoming a threat to the uh, related area. And a person from that related area, he goes and makes a complaint to the police. And what police can do is then they can if the suspect is at large, then what they can do is then they go and arrest that person. Or
Mm.
if the evidence is not strong enough, then they can ask from the other people around the area, and they can go and check that area, and then they can arrest the person. So either way, when a complaint is made, the police needs to act.
Okay. So So let's say okay, there's a criminal. The a complaint came in. They made the arrest without a warrant, and as they are running the investigation while keeping the suspect in remand, how do they? So what sort of things that they are doing in terms of the investigation? Are they like searching their properties and these suspects' properties and stuff like that? And what are the things that what are the boxes that they need to check in terms of the investigation?
So the police officers, they have something called departmental orders. That's a big booklet.
Right.
I don't think most of the police officers who are working right
No,
now are reading that. Okay?
they have no
In that,
idea.
I
Yeah,
I don't think so.
yeah.
So in that, it mentions how a police officer should maintain their records, how he
Hmm.
should keep a notebook and everything, a notepad, crime notepad, and everything. So in that, it says if you are going out of the police station for a particular raid, okay, then you should mention that in the notebook. And every police officer who's going should mention in his pocket notebook. That's called P&B. So they should mention it in the P&B. And then the main officer, he should make in and out entries. That is, when you're going out, you should make the entry with every
Hmm.
person, what they are carrying. Like if they are carrying a mobile phone, if they are carrying currency, everything should be entered. So most of the criminal lawyers, they take a point from that in and out entries, because most of the time the police officers don't do that
They don't.
properly.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's
So
a good point. When we come for drug cases, it's very material. So if
so
they if
so
let's
yeah.
say five people are going out of the police station, okay,
Hmm.
and one person joins in the middle, and the main investigation officer, he forgets to include that person's name, that either he joined later or he went with them.
Yeah,
And when they're coming back in the in that entry, he mentions his name. Okay,
yeah.
then there's an issue. So he could have introduced the drug to him, drugs to the suspect, and he
Yeah,
could have done anything.
yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, that's so silly. That's that's just being dumb. Like,
Yeah.
but
So
I guess yeah.
in a very recent case that I did with one of my seniors, it was a drug matter. So in that matter, there were seven police officers who had gone, okay,
Yeah.
and the investigation officer, uh, he had put only six names when they're going out, and
Right.
he has clearly mentioned though, he has clearly mentioned that he checked this one, he checked this one, and he had the mobile phone. Let's say, for an example, uh, Lasindu Hansitha, the police
Yeah.
officer, okay,
Mm.
Lasindu Hansitha, police constable, PC, Lasindu Hansitha, PC. So he is going out. So he has a mobile phone, okay, and he has 2,220 rupees in his pocket. So he has to mention that. The police officer has mentioned that. That officer has been uh,
So even his
wise enough to
personal
mention everything.
currency.
Yeah, everything,
Okay.
everything. Because
Okay.
because when we take a suspect into the custody, we take everything he has in his possession, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if we can introduce anything to him, then he's disadvantaged.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
he's
That
at
makes sense. Yeah.
disadvantage.
Yeah.
So what that guy did was, so he mentioned everyone, the six people, six officers who went with him, and that other guy says that he also went with this officer. So in the
Yeah.
evidence, during evidence, when we cross-examined him, we asked the time he left, the officer who was not entered in that PNB. Okay,
Yeah.
so he said he went with that officer and he was checked, and he might have forgotten it. That's not an excuse in law. So we took up that position, and
Yeah.
we got the accused acquitted. He was acquitted recently. We got the order in our favor.
Yeah. What was the charge? Was it a drug? You said it's a drug charge.
Yeah, it was possession of 100 grams of methamphetamine. Methamphetamine is what they call ice.
Ice. Okay. 100 grams?
100 grams. In Sri Lanka, yeah, ice, I don't think it's a
Okay.
very expensive drug. I think there are more drugs which are expensive, but ice is it's a very disturbing drug. It kills a lot of people, and
Mm.
it's actually uh, wasting our society. The young ones, they are addicted to it. Most of the young people, they're addicted to it, and then when they don't find the money to get the drug and they access the drug, then they start
The
robbing and then
stealing
everything.
and
Yeah,
yeah. 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 Drugs are crazy, man. Like just yeah. Yeah. Never tried, never done. You know me. Just yeah.
yeah.
Never been a
And
fan of drugs, but yeah, like, I've seen stuff like yeah, that's crazy.
we should never
But
recommend drugs to anyone.
yeah, yeah, never like yeah, that's crazy. But so let's say like you're based on a certain complaint or whatever, you are doing a raid, but do you so to do a raid, do they have to, is it a must to get a search warrant, or can they just go and raid
If they have information, they can just go. They can just go. If it's urgent, they can just go. If,
without a
if if
search
it's a
warrant?
place, yeah, if it's a place, then they have to get a search warrant.
Yeah. What do you mean if it's a place?
So let's say you get an information saying that this person is coming on a bike and he's having something. Okay, let's say a bomb
Okay.
or a drug or something, and
Okay.
he's carrying in his pocket. So
Right.
to stop that, you can't wait and
Yeah.
get a search warrant. So
Yeah. Okay. But if it's a private property or whatever, they have to get a search warrant.
the basic rule is that, but sometimes I mean very rarely, there are instances I'm not going into detail, but in those circumstances, they go and search those places without a warrant. Yeah,
But is it legal though? It's not illegal. It's
it's
not
not
legal.
illegal.
Yeah, so it's
It's
not
not
legal
illegal.
either, but it's not illegal.
Yeah, but when it comes to the case, then we can argue that also.
Argue.
We can say that this was done without a warrant and everything.
Yeah. Because like what do they need to get a search warrant?
Mm, 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 mm. I am not very aware of that. I have to look into it.
Because I mean they need to have a reason to get a search warrant, right? At least like probable cause to acquire a
Yeah,
search warrant.
yeah. There should be a probable cause, and there should be a complaint or something, some sort of thing like that. And then they have to have reasons to search that place to see if the
Yeah.
probable whatever the reason is happening there. So there
Yeah.
are a lot of reasons.
Yeah. Because I feel like I don't know. So in terms of like getting into a private property, I mean there's both sides, and always there are like exceptions to the rules as well. So I guess it makes sense, but at the same time, if based on someone's complaint, and if anybody can just, if the government can just like just bombard into your property or
Yeah,
whatever based on someone's complaints, that I feel like that you that doesn't kind of gives the idea of the kind of like the human rights. I feel like there's a kind of like a human right violation,
yeah.
but
It's a violation. It's actually a violation. So
yeah,
yeah, in most of the cases, even when there's a suspicion, and then they go and search without a warrant and everything, and if the person gets acquitted, then they can file a human rights complaint.
yeah. So if let's say if they search a place without a warrant and they found certain things or whatever, so can those be presented at the courts, or is it not a thing?
They can. There's no issue with that because then they can file it as evidence saying that they had strong evidence to think that there were suspicious stuff in that place.
Fair enough. That's what sort of cases that do you enjoy the most? Is it drug cases, or is it bribery cases, or murder cases? What kind of things that do you get that thrill? Like I have this case, like yeah, I'm working on this case, like
It's a very hard
wow.
question to answer. I'm still thinking. Which piques my interest. At the moment, I like doing murder cases, rape cases, and drug cases. All three. Financial cases, financial frauds. A bit
Yeah.
boring, but yeah, there are interesting cases. But for now, I think I'm more interested in doing murder cases, drug cases, and rape cases.
What was the last murder case that you did?
So, so this guy, okay, he was a JCB driver. You know what a JCB, right?
Yeah, yeah, the bulldozers.
So he was at a construction, yeah, he
Mm.
was at a construction site, and this is actually not a murder. He was trying to protect himself. Okay,
Okay, self-defense.
self-defense actually. So
Yeah.
yeah, there was an issue in that
So that
area,
was that was
and
your
this guy has
argument too.
gone.
So that was your defense.
Yeah, self-defense. Yeah,
Okay.
self-defense was my defense.
Okay.
Uh, so uh, so what happened was this guy had an issue with a person in that area because that person who has given his land for the road to be built, okay, has not been compensated by the authorities. So instead of pulling a fight with the authorities, this guy has come and tried to stop our client, in proceeding with the road. Okay, so he was building the road, he was doing the construction area, and somehow this fight has been escalated, and a few guys who are like were friends with the other guy, they have
Mm.
come and tried to hit the client, hit my client. So my client has run back to the JCB, okay, and
Okay.
when he was trying to escape from that place, uh, one person, not the main person I was talking about, the one person uh, has been trying to get onto the JCB. He has fell down, and they say that the client has run over him. Okay, so the client was just trying to
Okay.
escape, but
Yeah.
he had no intention. So there was no intention, and
Yeah.
however, this guy got convicted, so he was sentenced for life, and we are doing an appeal. So that's why I can't mention names or anything and the
Yeah.
place.
Yeah.
So we are doing an appeal. I think the appeal would succeed. Appeal
Okay.
appeal ground. There are a lot of appeal grounds because uh, I think the case was not properly analyzed.
Okay. So when you're like appealing, is it going to trial or just um
No, good question. So trial is not happening in an appeal. Trial is happening in the High
yeah,
Court, where all the evidence is laid, and
yeah.
the witnesses are examined and then cross-examined and re-examined. And then after that, the counsels make their final submissions, and then the judge gives an order. And after that, after the order, if you are not satisfied with the order, if you are thinking that you should appeal it, then you can go to the Court of Appeal. That's a process in Sri Lanka, but in India and other countries, I think the process is very different. They have different courts. In India,
Yeah.
they have like primary court, district court, and all in criminal matters as well. In Sri Lanka, the division is where the primary court is magistrate court and high court, and in civil cases it's the district court, and then in criminal cases then it goes to Court of Appeal. Similarly, in the civil matters it goes to Court of Appeal, and the final court we have is the Supreme Court.
Supreme
And
Court.
in the Court of Appeal, yeah, it's a separate court. And in the Court of Appeal, the appeals are entertained.
Right. Interesting. So wow, okay. So this guy was sentenced to life, and even after it was sentenced, is there a time period that he can do the appeal, or like he can even do it after like 5 years, or doing sentence in 10 years time?
No, different cases has different times for appeal, and after that time is expired, then you can't appeal.
I see. Oh man, that's yeah. Sentence. Like, how old is he?
I think he's in his mid 40s.
Okay.
He's
Still,
having two kids as well, so yeah.
oh fuck. Yeah, that's messed up. Yeah, yeah. When you're a family man, when you have kids and all, I guess like no, it's messed up in any cases. I mean, even if you're young, you do a crime and you get sentenced, your entire youth is gone. And even when you're old, you have family. There's a wife, there's children, everything. Again, the family life, everything's lost. Like I guess,
Yeah,
whatever the time frame you do a crime, you go to jail. It's messed up. It's fucked.
yeah, true.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Sometimes people get sentenced and everything, even when they do not do the crime, right? So that's the most sad part.
yeah. So do y'all kind of do your I mean I don't know if y'all do y'all have time to like find those people and do those cases back again or open those cases back again?
So, like I told you, so there is a period to appeal. After the appeal period
Right.
is over, then we can't appeal, right?
Yeah, there's nothing that
So that's
you
the
can do.
issue.
Yeah, makes sense. But
So it's
so
a responsibility of every lawyer to
yeah,
make sure that their client is compensated for what he gets, right?
yeah, I guess that makes sense. Is there a number of times that you can appeal also? Like so you appeal once and it get denied, you appeal again, it get denied.
You can appeal only once, and then you can't
Okay, so it has to be like properly iron tight even if you're appealing.
probably, yeah. And only thing that you can do is going to the Supreme Court. But after that, then there's no solution.
Oh shit.
So for whatever to be done, for whatever to be done, the evidence that is led in High Court matters. So sometimes there are appeals which we get, okay, in the High Court it has not properly been argued. So we can't add fresh evidence in appeals, right? We have to use what they have used in the primary
Yeah.
courts, like Magistrate Court and the High Court. So what we
Okay.
can do is only get the things that are argued in the High Court and the Magistrate Court,
Right. Okay, so
and we can we
no new
can
evidence
we can
can
argue
be
on the
presented.
points of law. No new evidence can be presented.
Okay. That makes things even harder.
Yeah,
But wow, okay. So what is kind of a big um misconceptions that people have about being guilty and not guilty?
being guilty and not guilty. So sometimes when people are found not guilty, okay, they could have actually done the wrong, and vice versa, right? So
Yeah.
some people in Sri Lanka, most of the people who are, in the prison, okay, not most of the people, but like at least 10-15% of the people, okay,
Yeah.
they could not have been actually guilty, right? I
Yeah.
have seen so many rape cases where they have been sentenced when they have not done anything. And sometimes these rape cases, which mainly the child rape incidents, okay,
Yeah.
when the parents have an animosity with some guy, this doesn't happen in the urban areas. This mostly happens in the rural areas. So what happens is when the parents have an animosity with the guy, then they train the child to say that she was raped by this uncle or
Hmm.
this ayah, and
Hmm.
then they go and file the complaint. And
But that ruins the child's life
when a
also.
child, yeah, that happens. So that goes. So I have seen several
That's
cases
messed
that
up.
are just like that. Yeah,
That's messed up.
and yeah, it happens. It happens. It's the normal thing.
So
It's very normal in the hill country areas and other rural areas.
So let's just say like it's not a child 18 plus, let's say like a couple got connected together and it was like with consent, but a woman can pretty much anytime say that even though they did it with consent, can even after a month can come and say like no, this guy raped me. Is it the
So
case?
it's like this. So it's like this. There are scenes like that also. Like you might find a pretty recent case where one of our cricketers got charged, right, in
Yeah,
Australia.
yeah,
I
yeah,
won't say the name. So yeah, so
yeah,
same thing happened. So they had an affair, and
yeah,
it happened. But there have to be concrete evidence that there was no consent, because the lawyer who is going to argue on behalf of the accused, he will take up the point that they had an affair and this was done with consent and everything. Uh, so in rape, consent is not the only thing. Okay, let's say a girl consented for having sex or getting connected or whatever,
yeah.
and then the guy does something extreme which the girl does not consent. Okay, that is also can be taken as rape. And similarly, in a child rape case, okay, in a child rape case, the consent doesn't matter because the child is under 18.
It's under
In
18,
Sri
yeah.
Lanka, under 16.
Under,
So,
yeah,
if the child is under that age, if she is a minor, okay, the consent doesn't matter. Let's say a guy who is also a minor,
yeah.
who had an affair with a girl of that age. Let's say both are 15, okay, and then they have sex. Still, it's a rape.
Right. Yeah, I guess yes, that makes sense. I mean, if you're a minor, yes, that is, yeah, that is yes. But going back to that cricketer's case also, yes, I mean, the lawyer can argue that, I mean, they had sex with consent and everything, but then again, I mean, if when you are like, famous cricketer, or like, when you have a certain reputation and a status in the society, it's, I mean, everything's gone, like, because at the end of the no good that he has done, the matches that he has played, um the innings that he have played, the scores and everything that he has done to the country, those matches will not be remembered by people. It'll be the person, he'll be the person, okay, like, who got arrested in Australia for raping an Australian woman. Like, that's
Yeah,
that reputation, that's messed up. Like, I feel like that's like a real problem,
but
because yeah,
yes. However, I think this case came up in Sydney,
yeah,
and at the end of the case, he was found not guilty.
yeah. But at the end of
So
the day, that took like 2 years, 1.5 or
yeah,
two
I think
years. He
so.
couldn't play cricket. He couldn't go out, go anywhere. Like, I mean, he
Yeah,
was trapped for being
yeah,
not guilty. I mean, he was innocent, and he was trapped for like almost 2 years. He couldn't play a single match, and I think even right now he's not getting any matches, like international matches. So because of just one woman, his his whole life is pretty much just went in
yeah.
drain. Like, that's
Exactly what I said. Exactly what I said earlier. Most the answer to your question. Sometimes the view that the society has is very wrong, because he was accused in so many pages and Facebook pages and social media. He was hammered in social
yeah,
media to find that it was just an act of romance, not rape.
yeah, yeah. Because yeah, this is exactly, so that's my problem. It's like, I feel like men are fucked. Like, like, in reality, if you are a famous person, or a celebrity, or like, have certain reputation or status kind of thing in the society, and you pretty much, like, roam around, those women can just mess you up, like, permanently.
Yeah, yeah.
Even though you haven't done any wrongdoing, even though you did the things, like, with the consent and everything, they, after even 5 years time, they can just come and say, like, look, 5 years ago this man raped me, and that's fucked up.
And it's not just men. Okay, there are some people, men who go and complain that they were sexually abused by a
Yeah,
woman. Okay,
yeah,
I know a similar incident which one of my seniors uh, are doing right now. So I would just get into the facts briefly. So this guy is schooling in, I think, one of the famous schools
Hmm.
in the hill country. One day during the sports meet, he's I think he's 16 years or 16 years or 17 years
Okay.
or 15 years. I think 15 years.
So
So he
minor.
goes and makes a yeah. So he goes and makes a complaint saying that this particular teacher,
Yeah.
okay, sexually abused him. Okay, and the actual scenario is that this guy has gone and told his friends that this teacher has had sex with him, and the guys have been the guys have kept asking as to how he did it, and the teens, right?
Yeah.
They have their
Yeah.
fantasy worlds, and then they have crush on their teachers and everything. And what has happened is to maintain this small lie. This guy has gone and made the complaint. I think there was some mental trauma, whatever it is, and imagine the mentality he had to maintain
Uh,
that
uh,
particular lie. He went and
yeah.
made a complaint to the police, saying that this teacher sexually abused him. And imagine the status of that teacher, what she
Yeah.
will be going through,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
her family.
Yeah.
She has a family. She has kids. Look
Yeah.
what they
That's
will
messed
go
up.
through.
Yeah. That's messed up. That's messed up.
So it happens to both genders,
Both
I would
sides.
say.
Yeah. Yeah. Both sides. But I guess statistically it happens more often to men. But yeah,
True.
that's messed up. Like, yeah, no one's
Yeah,
safe. Like, no one's
those
safe.
cases are rare. Those cases are
Yeah.
rare, and you are correct that
Yeah.
most cases happen to men.
Yeah. Like nobody's safe. Yeah.
Nobody's safe.
Yeah. You. Yeah. Because I was closely following this last week this Diddy trial that was going on in US,
Hmm.
and it was really interesting because I wanted to, like, I really sort of, like, really see how it goes, and pretty much how this whole arguments are being made by lawyers, because that's a pretty big case, and I'm pretty sure, like, most of the talented lawyers, even from the state side and the defendant side, are gonna be just
Yeah,
represent these clients. So but since it's apparently, so it's a federal case, so, like, it's not lively broadcast, but you can get the transcripts and stuff, like it's just all on the internet. And
all over the
I
internet.
was
Yeah,
reading, yeah, so I was reading some of those stuff, and it's just crazy. The whole case is just so messed up, and Diddy has done, like, he's like he's pretty much complete in the wrong side. Like, he has done a lot of wrongdoings, but at the same time his charges are human trafficking and racketeering. So I don't think he will be charged for human trafficking, because and every single time that he had
he
sex
will
with
get
his
away with it.
yeah, so, like, it was with consent, like, because even she
Yeah,
has, like, there's, like, thousands of messages of their conversations and stuff like that. Even she has flown she has booked tickets and flown into cities that where Diddy was in, and the messages are there to prove. So human trafficking case is not gonna be an issue, but the racketeering, I don't know. But I feel like, even though, like, so everything that they are saying is true and Diddy has done all the things, so I feel like the defense side is kind of painting the picture, whereas, yeah, okay, my client has certain sexual fantasies, but at the end of the day, your client wanted all these things as well, and all these text messages proves everything. And also and then your client went ahead and married the personal trainer, which Diddy paid for her to get trained, and
yeah,
ended up marrying that trainer. And also your client is running out, because after that it is completely cut off, like, paying for her things, and now you're running out of money. And previously you got, because previously there was another case, and it has been settled, and Diddy has paid $20 million. So Diddy has paid $20
it's
million
nothing for him.
previous. Yeah, it's
It's
nothing. He's
nothing
a
for him.
billionaire.
Yeah,
Yeah. He's a
Yeah.
billionaire. So and $20 million, and now those $20 million have also run out. So you are running out of cash. So that's the kind of pain that I feel like the defense side is kind of painting, because the Cassie, Didi's ex-partner, was the main witness from the state
Yeah.
side, and I knew for a fact, okay, they are gonna pretty much the defendants, like they are gonna pretty much label her as a kind of like a well, I mean, might as well say the word like hoe, as sort of like doing everything and trying to get his money, because she ended up going ahead and marrying this person. But then again, like Dee has done so many wrong things. I mean, the stuff that she has been through is just crazy, man. Like, I don't know. I for me, I'm fascinated with the fact that Didi has done all these things for almost 20 years and nobody knew. Like
Hmm.
literally, he covered his track for 20 plus years. Nobody knew until this whole video got leaked from this hotel.
Yeah.
And the best part is Cassie has gotten $10 million from the hotel also for leaking the video. So so there's that aspect also. Like she has gotten a $10 million from the hotel because she thinks like it's hotel's property, that these CCTV footages, and she's in there. So she has gotten a 10 million settlement from the hotel also. So like she's in with $30 million and now doing this case. So the defendant is just like, the cross examination was just really amazing, and that was like really fascinating. But I feel like this is going to be another OJ Simpson case. Like, did
Yeah.
he will walk?
In the Combs trial,
Yeah,
from what I read the last, okay, so I think Ventura is going to take the stand in the next hearing. So
yeah,
it's going to be very interesting after that, and it's
yeah,
anyway complicated at the moment.
yeah. Like
So let's see how it goes.
I
Let's
feel
see
like
how
he's
it
gonna
goes.
walk. He's gonna walk. Oh, he might get a small sentence. I don't know, but yeah, he's gonna walk definitely, because
Do you think it's
I
going to
don't
walk
know.
away
I feel like that. I feel like from the way that it went for the during the first couple of days, I don't know how the racketeering will go, but I don't think he'll be properly charged for human trafficking. I don't think the jury will find him guilty for human trafficking, because it's like those messages. I mean, so literally, like I can't remember the exact timeline. So Cassie has made a complaint that Diddy raped her in, let's say, in August, and then there are messages and stuff that Cassie has sent to Diddy in September, October, November, December, to like go and have sex while marrying to that her current husband. And I'm like, okay, this doesn't make sense. Like she's cooked, like pretty
Oh,
much like those stuff. It doesn't make sense, because now how can you say that, okay, you got raped in August, whereas you have been just meeting him continuously afterwards.
after
So
that,
then
afterwards, yeah.
yeah, so and doing the same thing again, and I'm like, okay, yeah, yeah, it doesn't make sense. So even though
It's
Diddy's in the wrong side, but based on those criminal charges, I don't think he will get. I don't think he'll get charged for human trafficking, but racketeering, I don't know how that's going to play out.
yeah.
That's a whole criminal organization that they have to prove, but I don't know.
So you're saying there's no proper evidence against him at the moment,
I mean, they only did about three witnesses. They only only took stands for about three witnesses, three or two. So I didn't.
and like I said, next the prosecution is thinking of bringing Cassie's mother Ventura
Yeah,
onto the stand.
yeah.
So it might have a twist. We'll see.
It might, yeah, it might, but at the same time, because I mostly read Cassie's testimonies,
Okay.
and so before Cassie, there has been two male prostitutes that has taken the stand. I didn't go through those stuff like thoroughly, because I want to check like what Cassie was saying.
Yeah.
And yeah, based on that, I don't know, I feel like it's gonna be tough, because even the defendant side, like Diddy's lawyers, like did a pretty good job, and most of pretty much all the um cases, all the evidence that defense side wanted to bring up, the state just keep on objecting, and these evidence were presented by the state as well. It's just like, defendant wanted to bring out the state's evidence that they have presented, but they just kept on
Okay.
objecting because
They
it's
can't object to that.
so
They
all
can't
the
object to
evidence.
that.
The thing is this, so their appellate, so I that's what I was also thinking. I was like, okay, how are they objecting, because it's their evidence that defendant is using. But appellate, there's this thing called um I read it, I can't remember exactly, some 412 rule or something like that. It sort of kind of paint the picture, saying that, okay, there this the victim is uh like a prostitute or something like that. So it kind of, if it's a kind of like, paints that picture on jury's eyes, they can't bring up those evidence or some there's some 412 or 413 rule or something like that. So based on
Okay.
that rule, they just keep on objecting, and yeah, so the
Interesting.
judges also
Interesting. I
allowing
should
that.
I should also look up about that rule then.
Yeah, it's like and the other thing is, all those videos that allegedly Cassie was saying that Diddy was recording. It was, and like all of those videos,
Hmm.
Cassie was the person who gave all those videos to
Recorded
the
them.
court. Yeah,
Okay.
recorded, and she had all the recordings, not Diddy.
So
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 she's so she's saying that
it's
Diddy was,
complicated, man. It's complicated.
yeah. So she's saying Diddy was kind of uh sort of blackmailing her with those videos while she's having all those videos. So she had the videos, and she's the one who presented those videos to the courts, not
So she
not
had the
Diddy.
videos in possession, not Diddy.
Yes, not Diddy. So yeah, it's, I don't know, man. I feel like it's gonna be another O.J. Simpson case, like
Yeah.
O.J. Simpson 2.0 kind of thing. But it's interesting.
It's going viral over the internet, so I think
Yeah,
it also
yeah,
has an impact, right? When an ongoing case is going viral and
yeah,
the public input to it,
yeah,
the judges
yeah.
can get confused, man.
Yeah, that's a massive impact. I've saw some of those reports and stuff like that, but it's crazy. But man, like, I don't know, man. That guy is just, I don't know. He's a monster. I don't, Diddy's a monster, but at the same
Talk
time,
about it.
there's not much evidence. That sucks.
Yeah. So how many times have they tried to connect him to Illuminati and everything?
Yeah.
But there is as clear evidence, but no one is willing to come forward and talk about it.
Yep. Yep. But
They say that he is connected to Michael Jackson's death and everything, and
yeah,
so many celebrities. No
yeah.
one talks about it openly. And
Nobody.
if they talk about it,
Yeah.
then most of the time they are silenced.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's the case in most of those. Like, even Jeffrey Epstein, like nobody talks about that case. Also, it's pretty much kind of similar thing as Diddy, but
Mm.
yeah, I mean, yeah, nobody comes forward with it. Like, I guess that's the power that they have, I think. Because what's really
He's
fascinates
having
me,
an empire.
yeah,
He's having an empire.
a massive empire,
Yeah.
massive empire. The Because when I realized that he has been covering his tracks for like more than 20 years, and nobody knew, as I mean, because he was pretty much doing all these things with celebrities. He's a celebrity, he's very well known, and like, pretty much in 90s and early 2000s, I mean, you couldn't just do anything without hearing his name. Like his
Yeah.
songs and his records were like, everywhere. And
Exactly.
and he did all these things for 20 plus years with all these other celebrities, and none of those things came into media. Like, no, nothing, like not TMZ, not like no paparazzi, nothing. Nobody knew about this. I'm like, shit.
Are you impressed? I have a question.
Yeah,
Would you call it impressive?
I wouldn't call it impressive. I guess some people can look at it as impressive, but I wouldn't really call it impressive. I feel like eventually it's gonna come out. I mean, it came out eventually. It doesn't matter. It's just a
Yes.
matter of fact for how long you can keep going, because eventually it's gonna come out. And it came out, and like look at the mess that he is in right now, and it's gonna impact his family. He has kids, like, for everybody. So it's not really, I don't think it's not a matter of whether it's impressive, but I feel like it's fascinating, the fact that he did it for 20 plus years. Yes, I mean, maybe early 2000s the technology and stuff wasn't that that good, but even the
Social
past,
media.
yeah,
Social
but
media
even the
has the
past couple
main
of,
impact.
yeah, but still even the past 10 years or so, that, because yeah, like some of those messages were like, BlackBerry messages, like what they were presenting at the course, like, BBMs,
Yeah,
like,
the
or
pictures,
BMLs.
pictures of the
Yeah,
mobile phones. Yeah.
yeah, like, yeah, it's damn, it's crazy. So by the way, how did your India tour go?
Okay. I knew this question was coming out.
I mean,
So,
I had to.
yeah. So, it's not exactly what the media painted and media showed and everything.
Yeah.
So, I can't, I don't know. I went there to get his instructions. As a lawyer, we have to get instructions from the client, right?
Mm.
And to give some documentation to the attorney who's representing him in India. Okay, so he has been arrested for staying in India without a valid passport. That's the only charge India has against him. And
So
so
before we get into the charges, just uh people might not know the whole story. So Naveen went to India when one of these is he a gang leader or known underworld
he's known to,
personality?
he's he's known to be a kingpin in the underworld in Sri Lanka.
Yeah, so Naveen went to represent him
Yeah,
when
sort
he
of.
got
Yeah.
arrested. Yeah, when he got arrested in India. So how did you get the case?
So actually, one of my friends who's handling his matters in Sri Lanka. Okay, so he wanted me to assist him and sort of, uh, get the case done and everything in Sri Lanka. And
Hmm.
suddenly, this person got bail in 2024 December. Okay, and
Right.
he fled Sri Lanka while on bail. Okay, and the authorities were searching for him, and he could not be found. And then the authorities got an information that he's in India when he was arrested in India because he had no passport. The passport was in the custody of the court,
Hmm.
and so he didn't have a proper valid passport. So Indian authorities caught him residing in India without a passport. And in Sri Lanka, he has a lot of cases which I cannot,
Yeah.
give it
Yeah.
to you
Ongoing
because
case. Yeah.
the ongoing cases,
Yeah.
and I have he has the lawyer-client privilege, so I can't disclose all those cases and the names.
Yeah.
So, however, he's still in the custody of in India. I mean, he's in remand. So why we went? Okay, so we went to get his instructions, like I earlier said, and to
Hmm.
give some documentation that the attorney who is representing him and who's trying to get bail to him in India, he wanted some documentation from Sri Lanka. So we were arranging that, and then there are a few cases, like I mentioned, in Sri Lanka which are ongoing. Although he got bail, there are cases which are going on, right? Getting bail is just in the beginning of a case, and
Yeah.
then the
Yeah.
case goes on. So they accuse him of being a drug kingpin. Okay, I would say. And
Okay. In India?
no, not in India,
In Sri Lanka.
uh, in Sri Lanka. So
Yeah.
even in that case, I think the Sri Lankan embassy has sent them a letter saying that this person is wanted for these cases, so don't grant him bail. So that's
So
why
basically
his
the charges. charges are in Sri Lanka. He has been charged in Sri Lanka, but he got arrested in India. So basically, the embassies and the Sri Lankan police were coordinating with Indian police and made the arrest.
No, no, no. So what happened was, like I told you, so his cases are ongoing in Sri Lanka, right?
Yeah.
And he was in remand for one case. Okay, and
Okay.
for that case, he actually got bail in 2022. Okay,
Okay.
and he did not furnish bail. He said that he wanted to stay in remand because he
Hmm.
has life threats against him. Okay,
Okay.
so he didn't want to go out of the remand prison. So he said
Okay.
prison is safe. So he did not furnish bail up until
Wow.
2024 December. Okay,
Okay.
so this
Okay.
is the story. This is a story that most of the people don't know.
Yeah.
So since he had a life threat
So he
and
he he
whatever he
stayed
says,
in jail for 2 years just because, even though he could just walk out, he wanted to stay in the jail for 2 years just because he knew that, okay, if he goes out, if he walks out, he's dead.
that's basically because from what he has disclosed to me and my friend
Yeah.
and the other attorneys. So what he says is that there are death threats to him and there could be a judicial killing, extrajudicial killing,
Okay. What does
where
that mean?
he would be. So sometimes there are killings which happen without any judicial, judicial warning or anything like that. So you might have seen the news, right? So they say that this person was taken to find the hidden weapons and everything, and then he was shot because he was trying to flee. The police had to act, and they shot. Okay,
All right. Right.
so those are very normal these days. And if you
Yeah.
see Sri Lankan news, okay, every day there's a shooting. I mean,
Yeah.
those are not extrajudicial shootings, but they are mostly because of the uh, gang leaders. They are fighting against each other. And after the recent killing inside the prison, sorry, inside the court, okay, uh, the story says that he was the main man in Sri Lanka, main underworld man in Sri Lanka, and now this main seat is vacated. So the two sides are fighting against each other.
It doesn't
And
get.
so when we talk about numbers in 2024, there were around there were more than 100 shootings and more than 105, 110 people were dead because of those shootings. And in 2025, it had a massive rise. Every day we see a shooting. If there's no shooting in the news, then it's not normal in Sri Lanka
Yeah.
enough.
So okay. So he got the bail in 2022, and then but he still wanted to stay in remand up until 2024 December. So after December, he came out and he flew to India.
Yeah, that's basically what happened. And the rest of the answer to your question. So you said you said that you think that Sri Lankan embassy and the
Yeah.
uh, Indian people, they are like communicating and then arrested him. No, that's not what happened. So when he fled to India, okay, so he didn't have a proper passport, right? So I think he was searched out of nowhere, and then they found out that he doesn't have a passport, and that's the only charge against him, which is in India. There's no any other charge against him in India.
Oh, okay.
What
So
I said was, the Sri Lankan embassy, I think, they have sent him a letter. They have sent, not him, they have sent
the
the Indian authorities a
India,
letter saying
that there are cases that he's a
that
wanted
they
man
are
in Sri
cases.
Lanka.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
So,
Gotcha. But do you think
not to
India will
release him.
extradite him? Do you think India will send him here?
There's a huge possibility. There's a huge possibility to send him to Sri Lanka. But I don't know. Whatever said and done, Sri Lankan authorities are now, I think, they are trying to get the extradition process done. So if in that case he will be brought down to Sri Lanka.
But do you think this will become a political case as well? Because, like, I mean, to extradite him to Sri Lanka, Indians will ask like, okay, like, yeah, we are okay, fine, we'll send him, like, but then again, like, now it's gonna become a whole political agenda. Like, yeah, I mean, if you all do this, we will send him this person, like, because now they have a Trump. They have the upper hand,
Uh,
because if do you think it'll become that?
so you're saying that there is something like that. So sometimes Indian people, Sri Lankan people, and then Bangladesh, Pakistan,
Yeah,
they have sort of pacts, right?
yeah,
So in those pacts, when the people who are being extradited,
mm,
okay, then they want someone in exchange of that. It
yeah,
also happened,
yeah,
but I can't assure that it will happen in this case. I don't know. Anyway, in most of the cases, not mainly in Sri Lanka, from what I know, in India and Pakistan and Bangladesh, they have treaties and pacts, right?
yeah,
So when the government is asking to extradite one person,
mm,
so the other country, they are asking one from their country who's being arrested or
yeah,
kept in custody or whatever in the other country to be
yeah,
extradited to their country.
their country,
That
yeah,
happens.
yeah, yeah, I guess
It's
that
like
makes sense.
exchange of people.
Yeah, yeah, it's like going old school.
Yeah, going old school. And in this matter, this particular matter, I doubt that something like that will happen because from what the authorities are saying, they are trying
Yeah,
to get the process done quickly. I don't know
okay.
what will happen. We'll see. We'll see. We are looking forward to it.
So
We'll see what happens afterwards.
is he still in remand in India, or he's out?
No, he's still in remand in India. He's still in
Okay.
prison. So his bail matter is going on, and the authorities are objecting to it, saying that he is a wanted criminal in Sri Lanka.
Oh, that's interesting. Well, what are your thoughts about? So another thing I wanted to ask from you is, what are your thoughts about the Easter attack in 2019? Because
Okay.
we were together when that was happening.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
yeah,
And you want
and
to go and check what's happening. I remember.
yeah, but I mean, I don't think like anybody has been. People may have been arrested, but like nobody have been properly, like charged, like proven guilty and charged, like for this incident, and I don't know, like nobody even talks about it properly because I feel like people have already forgotten. Yeah, like every year for the East, they just like do this whole remembering thing, but at the end of the day, no one is. Maybe the investigations are like still happening, but do like I don't know. I'm not really wishfully like hoping, okay, like one day somebody will be responsible for the Easter bomb attack, and like people, all those people who died will get justice. I've lost hope on that. I don't think that will happen, but since 2019, and like we are in 2025, it's been 6 years, and you have been in AG's office and like doing these cases for a long time now, and
Yeah.
what are your thoughts that like what really happened, and do you think those people will ever get justice?
Uh, I would not say no to that question because from what I know, okay,
Yeah,
from what I know, there are cases still going on in the court, High Court, and everywhere.
yeah,
Okay, even in Colombo High Court, uh, there is a special case going on, not one, just one case. So we call it the East Attack cases. So
yeah,
so when that matter comes up, it's done by three panel of judges. So three High Court judges get together, and then the cases are still going on. So let's see. Let's opt for a better answer. I think some people are already arrested, and and there were numerous arrests, but some people were released based on the fact of lack of evidence,
yeah,
and some are still in remand, and it's going on.
Yeah.
And I think whatever said and done, it's in the hand of the judges and the judiciary. And I think there's a good progress in the East attack cases right now, because I think from what I have seen and from what I have heard and everything, so I see a good progress, uh, more than the past 2 3 years. I see a good progress recently, because I think every week that case is taken up sometimes.
Do you think like it was 100% jihad, or was there a like political agenda as well? I feel like there was. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm just a
No,
dude thinking out loud.
yeah, exactly. So I'm also reluctant to answer, but I have to answer. So from what I see, I also see a political influence in this matter. I won't say which party or which person,
Yeah,
because we don't know. We exactly don't
yeah,
know.
yeah,
But it sort of twisted Sri Lankan politics after that, right?
yeah,
So, so, so I agree with you in this point. But how can we say that there was a political influence without proper evidence? Being a lawyer, I actually anyway can't. And
yeah,
however, with the backlash of Sri Lankan politics and everything,
yeah,
everyone could see that there was some sort of, even, I mean,
yeah,
even if it's not big, there was
yeah,
at least a tiny bit of political influence in that. It can't just be jihad, right? So,
yeah,
what would they expect in a country like Sri Lanka, which is very small, and now the ethnicities are living in peace and everything, and suddenly this comes
yeah. Exactly. So
out
that's
of
my
nowhere.
point. I mean, yeah, like what were jihad was trying to achieve by doing it? I mean, because it doesn't make sense unless there was some kind of a political agenda, unless they want somebody else in the power or something like that. It doesn't like really make sense for me, like what was their plan. And the media tried to paint the picture that they just wanted to go to heaven, and I'm like
Yeah,
yeah, like
it's some sort of bullshit, I know.
like
I mean, jihad had a part on it, but I
yeah,
don't know to which extent.
yeah,
And the reigning political parties, or the political parties which was before that, we don't know. But there was some sort of political influence, because uh, this came out of nowhere,
yeah,
like I said earlier. And if you remember, we were out at the time
yeah,
that this happened.
yeah,
We were somewhere in Colombo, and then you and another friend, Lavan, we were there, and you two wanted to go and watch the scene, right?
yeah,
And
yeah,
then again, another bomb exploded,
yeah,
and we might not be having this conversation even if we went there.
yeah. That's true. That's true. That's true. Yeah. But I don't know. I still feel like after this day, like we could have gone, and but yeah, yeah. In a way, I'm glad that we
Yeah,
didn't. But yeah, but sometimes, yeah, sometimes even I do think like what could have happened if we had gone. But yeah, man, it's so as this whole like gang war kind of thing is happening. So like we like so it has Colombo kind of become a new playground for these transitional gangs moving like with guns and everything.
yeah, that is happening now. If you see the news, okay, every day they're shooting. Even yesterday, I think yesterday there were two shootings in Sri Lanka from what I saw. One in Dehiwala, other one I'm not very sure. One was in Dehiwala Nadimala Road,
Mm,
and before that there was brutal killing near the Mount Lavinia area, and before that again a person was killed while going on the road, and there was another shooting inside a shop yesterday. I don't remember the exact case, like that, and all these started increasing after uh, the incident which happened inside court in Colombo Magistrate Court.
Yeah, yeah. I saw that CCTV footage. That was, yeah. But I've been seeing a lot of
Yeah,
CCTV
so
footages recently. Like people are just killing, like
yeah,
just on the road, like just midday, like just come and shoot and they would just go. I'm like, shit.
Sri Lanka is becoming another Chicago.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that. It's just crazy, like how these things happen, like literally in midday, and like middle of the road when just people are around, they just come in a bike and just shoot and go. I'm like, and
Yeah.
no consequences, like
So
nothing.
when we were kids and when we were teens, this didn't happen, right? I don't think
Nothing.
if we recall things like this, it rarely happened, like, once a year or maybe maximum
Yeah.
2 times, 3 times a year.
Yep.
But now it's like everyone has good guns except us, right?
Yeah. Yeah, like
Everyone has guns.
because back in the day when we were kids, like when somebody got killed like that, or whatever, like that was like huge thing, like huge news. And I'm like, every time I open like a news app, like okay, somebody has been killed. Yeah, because like
Yeah, so we should
every
we
single
should
day.
we should ask the media now. I mean, this is not a thing to laugh or joke about.
Yeah, yeah, 100%.
But
Yeah,
from what I see, I think they should have a column saying from today's shootings.
yeah, man. That's
And
yeah, that's
from what I see, the economic crisis and everything happened in Sri Lanka. Okay, after that, the underworld sort of, they started speaking up more than they were doing in the past, right? And when Ganemulla Sanjeeva's incident happened in the court,
mm,
okay, uh, it's sort of very secure place. The court is very secure, right? There's police people and everyone, and up until today, they have not found the other person who was involved in the shooting, right? The lady.
yeah, yeah. It's
So
crazy.
like that,
And even
and
in
the
even in Club Vasanta's case, he was like, I mean, they just came in, shoot everybody, kill a couple of people, and just went.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
no one has been arrested, right? Like they haven't found anybody. And
yeah,
I'm pretty sure those people have like already fled the country. Like I'm pretty sure they are not even in the
yeah,
country anymore.
probably,
They are in
probably.
Dubai or wherever. I don't know, but
Dubai, Belarus,
yeah,
India, maybe could be anywhere. Singapore,
yeah. I
could
mean,
be
they are
anywhere.
long gone. They are just long gone now. Now there's no way of catching those people. But then again, when that happened, I was like, if I mean, so Club Basanta was like pretty much well known, uh, like with security and everything, like Underworld personality, and he just got shot midday by going to open up was it a tattoo shop? I think, yeah, was it opening
Yeah.
at the opening of a tattoo shop, and boom, done. And
Do
I
you think? Do
heard
you
that
think he didn't have bodyguards? He had bodyguards,
he
right?
had it
Yeah.
was an inside
So
job. I feel like it was
yeah.
an inside job. Yeah, 100%.
Similarly, in Ganimala Sanjeeva's matter, okay, uh, he from what the people are saying and how the story goes on is that he was the king of Sri Lankan underworld at that time. At that time when
Yeah,
he got arrested and everything, and so so now the crown is vacated, like I said. I don't know if
yeah,
it's a good thing or bad thing. And now people are shooting each other to find who's going to take the crown from that person, from the underworld Shah.
yeah.
And even in that incident, do you think without any support from the inside people, maybe from his gang and the police and everything, they should have some inside information also, right?
100%.
Otherwise,
How did that person even bring the gun inside and just kill it? Like it's all inside information. I mean, it's an inside case, and it's not just the people outside, like working in the underworld. I mean, there are, I feel like there are a lot of corrupt um government police officers and like other personalities as well to, like I feel like get
Yeah,
a job, some kind of a job
yeah. From
like
what I
that.
heard, this is interesting. Okay, from what I heard, he was not even supposed to be there on that day. I mean, the magistrate had previously asked not to bring that person into the court, and they could get his evidence, whatever needed,
Yeah,
through Zoom. And the fact that he was brought into the court that day is still a question. Why he was brought? It's still a question.
it's messed up. It's messed up. So like, um, see, if you had the chance to um kind of rewrite a law, uh, what would that be and why?
Rewrite a law and why? Okay, it's a complicated question. Okay, because we like the rules as it is from right now. This is this is a case where I'm acting as a junior with one of my seniors. So this is very interesting. Uh, this is not, this is not it's not killing my sleep or anything. This is interesting.
Yeah,
That's why I'm saying
yeah,
this. So my senior was handling that case, and after the very first day, okay, my senior made an application, and the client's brother, I think, client's brother was there. So the client was in remand, anyways. So we came out of the court, and the client's brother was like, "Sir, when is the next day?" And we informed him of the next date, and
yeah.
then his next statement was, "Sir, we have another case, and it's his wife. Similar case, sir. Very small quantity. Very small quantity. So can you take up the case?" And my senior was on a call, and he was like keeping the phone away. And he was like, "Okay, we can take up the case. And what's the amount?" And the brother of the client answered, "It's a small quantity, sir. So then shall I ask the wife to come?" And my senior insisted, say, asking the amount. And his answer was, "Small quantity, sir. 1 kilogram."
Oh, shit.
Okay, so 1 kilogram is not a very big quantity, but the way he was saying it was very
Yeah,
interesting. Like, "Sir, small quantity, sir, small quantity." He was a Muslim person, so the
yeah,
tone and the accent is also,
yeah.
and my senior got furious.
Like,
Actually, it was funny. So he was like, "Are you mad? Are you mad to say that 1 kg is small? Do you know the sentence?" So in Sri Lanka, for those drugs like
was it
methamphetamine,
Coke?
cocaine, and everything.
Yeah.
No, it's also ice.
Okay.
So all those banned drugs. Uh, if you have more than 5 grams in your possession, and if you are caught, okay, uh, you will get death sentence if it's proven guilty. Okay,
Oh, death sentence straight
yeah,
away.
death sentence.
Shit.
After you're proven guilty,
Okay.
like I said, there's the process of appeal and everything. But if you're caught with more than 5 grams of whatever the drug is, I mean, it depends on the drug, because cannabis it's different in drugs like this, like ice, cocaine, and everything. If you have more than 5 grams in your possession, then the sentence is death. This is the law I would like to change. The answer to your question.
Okay.
Okay, this is the answer to your question. So the for drugs and everything,
Yeah.
the punishment is death. But for rapists, the punishment is 20 years. Do you think it's fair?
No.
So
No.
that's a law I would like
Yeah.
to change. That's the law I
Yeah.
would like to change, because
Yeah.
I think the evidence and everything should be concrete, and if
Well,
an accused
once,
is proven guilty of
yeah,
rape,
once proven guilty, yeah, yeah. That
once proven guilty, I think
yeah.
they should be hanged.
Yeah, yeah,
They
that
should
that
be hanged.
yeah, yeah, that motherfucker should be gone. Like, yeah, 100%.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, if a person like proven guilty for the rape, like, yeah, he has to be gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree
And
with that.
I think if you can punish a person for having 5 grams of cocaine or ice or whatever, I'm not saying that they should be lenient on those people. I'm agreeing with that sentence as well. I'm
Yeah,
agreeing that the sentence should be death. But I think for the rapists also, if they are proven guilty and if there's concrete evidence and if they are convicted, then I think they
yeah,
should be given death penalty as well.
yeah, 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 yeah. That's true. Yeah, that's a good one. That is a good one. One last thing I wanted to ask. What does thinking big mean to you?
Thinking big. Okay. So from the time I was a kid, okay, I tried to achieve things which I see and which I fantasize about, right?
Yeah,
So I had goals. And I think everyone should have goals in their minds. Okay, that's what drives a man. And from what I know about you and from what I see from others, I see a big difference from what you are doing right now. And even I think the name of this segment is Thinking Big with Lasindu, right? So I think it's centered with the goals and achievements that you want to achieve.
yeah,
So when I was a kid, I wanted to become a lawyer because my father was a lawyer.
yeah,
So I saw an idol in him. So I wanted to be like him. So I made the ground for what I want to read.
yeah,
So from those days, I was trying to be a lawyer, but then somehow the destiny happened and I chose the bio stream and everything.
yeah.
However,
I have,
however,
I have no idea
life
why
got
you chose
twisted.
bio, man. Like, bio, like, yeah, never mind.
Okay, that's a story for another time. That's an interesting story, but that's a story for another time. And then life got me back to where I wanted to be.
Yeah,
And from what I see, thinking big is where one needs to have goals and something to something that drives them to achieve their goals. I think
yeah,
that's what it means for me.
yeah. Amen. Amen to that, man. Well,
And
Naveen, thank you for your time, and thank you for joining with the podcast and sharing all these stories. And yeah, and I hope, like, that you'll be able to get you'll have your wedding soon as well. Um,
okay,
and yeah, I mean, if I'm coming to Sri Lanka again, like anytime soon, that'll be for your wedding, I guess. So yeah, hopefully.
yeah, you will
Uh,
have to because
yeah.
you are the best. You are one of the best one. You will
Yeah,
have to.
so I'm looking forward to that, and yeah, man, thanks so much again, and it's been a pleasure. I really enjoyed the
Same
conversation.
here, same here, same here. And thank you for getting me into this segment. I should first apologize from you for sort of pushing this back
It's
because
all good.
with
It's
work
all good.
I had to.
Yeah, of course.
And
I
today
understand.
I found some time, and that's when
Yep,
I said that I will do it today.
yep, yep. I appreciate that, and it's all good. Like, because I know. Yeah, getting cases, managing cases, doing consultations. Yeah, juggling with a lot of stuff, so I completely understand. It's all good. And guys, just make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel, and if you're listening to me on a podcast platform, make sure to follow me on those podcast platforms. I'm gonna do bring on more people and do more episodes like this. So yeah, Naveen, thanks again, and bye bye.
Thank you, Lasindu. Adios.
Adios.